Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm right back from group, literally just walked in the door back from group, and it's been a really good meeting this morning. It was a well attended meeting, but I think a lot of us thought the weight loss was disappointing. We're starting to flag a bit. Now I'm not pinpointing anybody, I'm talking about the group as a whole, and that includes me. I wonder if it's because we're coming into the cold weather and a lot of people are using the excuse, oh, you want to eat more at this time of year. Well, you can, you just eat free food. And a lot of people are saying, oh, Christmas is coming and the shops are full of chocolate. When are the shops not full of chocolate? And oh, in the foyers they've got Cadbury's this and Heroes that, and so what, put your blinkers on, walk past it. I've made all those excuses over the last 40 years, and I've come to a place in my life now where I will accept my weight will be affected each week by what I eat, and I need to just take ownership of that and be a grown-up. And I've had a really good week this week. I've been bang on plan, apart from, as you know, I had a lunch out last Saturday. Now, I pushed the boat out and I had way more, calorie-wise, way more than I would normally have had. Quantity-wise, as in the size of the portions, I was very much within what I call moderate balances, because my portion sizes today are not big. I can't do massive plates full of food anymore and sit.
If we are being honest, you did eat 3 people's worth of bread and then
Yeah,
the 3 chocolates at the end.
Yeah, I had the focaccia and I had the chocolates. But 3 pieces of bread for an average person is what a lot of people would eat most days, Joe. I just don't usually eat bread.
No, I'm just trying to like.
Yeah, but I didn't eat.
I'm not trying to shame you for it. I just want the viewers to.
You wouldn't. But if you think back to when I used to eat out, I used to go for the biggest things on the menu. You know, the biggest, most filling, most bulky things on the menu. For me to go out and order fish is like a breath of fresh air, because I never used to do that. But I do acknowledge that the kind of food I chose to eat last Saturday was high calorie food. So I had 1 meal off plan out of 21 meals. And I knew before I went for that meal that the chances of me having a gain this week were very high. But I also knew that that would sit comfortably with me. So I came home last Saturday. I'd already had my breakfast at group, which includes a B choice and 2 sins. I came home last Saturday and I had my tea, which is exactly what I wanted, and included 13 sins and an A choice and a B choice. So last Saturday I had my full 15 sins and my 4.5 hex choices on top of my meal out, and every day this week, Sunday to Friday, I have had 15 sins, 4.5 hex choices, because I won't ever try to pull it back. I don't do that anymore because I've proved to myself over the last 2.5 years that doesn't work for me. It might work for other people because we're all different, and I respect that, but I know now what works for me and what doesn't work for me. So you won't find me cutting back on my sins or reducing my healthy extras to try and pull it back, because I know with me it'll go the other way. If I think about doing that, I think about dieting. If I do it, I binge. I can't go there. So I stuck to what is normal for me, and this wouldn't be normal for everybody because we're all different, our bodies are all different, we're all different ages, different activity levels. I went to group this morning, stood in the queue, confidently got on the scales, and was really happy to get a £1 gain. Because for what I ate last week, for what I really enjoyed last week, I think that's really fair, probably more than fair, but that works for me. Something I have learnt at group this morning, lately, one of the drinks I drink when I'm out, and I'm not a fizzy pop drinker, but one of the drinks I will drink when I'm out for dinner or in that kind of situation is, Slimline Tonic, Schweppes Slimline Tonic. And I generally ask for Schweppes Slimline Tonic. And what I'm finding now is that most places are not stocking Schweppes because Fever Tree is the trendy Slimline Tonic. When we were in Tesco the other day, I asked Joe to buy some, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
And he picked it up off the shelf, and immediately he said, this doesn't say diet, this doesn't say slimline, it says light, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So a large bottle, which was probably, would it be a litre bottle?
Yeah, I think it was a litre, yeah.
Was 15 calories per 100 grams, which is not tantamount to a diet drink. And Naomi brought it up in group this morning because a lot of groups this week have been talking about alcohol for Christmas and leading up to Christmas and your tipping point. And one of the things she did highlight was steady on, girls, if you drink gin and tonic, because you'll go and you'll order your gin and that's 4 sins. You order it with a diet tonic, and what they're giving us in pubs, 9 pubs out of 10 are serving Fever Tree. And if you order a gin and slimline tonic and they give you a gin and Fever Tree light, that's an extra 1.5 sins. So your gin and tonic goes from being 4 sins to being 5.5. And I have noticed lately the tonic waters that I've been drinking have been really nice. And I am sure that the 2 I had last week at lunch, although they wouldn't have made a difference to my weight gain, were actually Fever Tree. And I honestly thought before Joe saw it in the supermarket the other day that Fever Tree Light was free, and it's not. So if you're like me and you go in the pub and you don't want another cup of coffee, you ask for a slimline tonic water, check it's not Fever Tree. And if it is, and if you like it, be prepared to count 1.5 sins for the small bottle, because that's what I'm going to have to do in future. I shall have to deduct it from the avocado, which will well get me mad.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, yeah, stepped on scales with confidence. 15 sins every day for 7 days. 4.5 healthy extras every day for 7 days, plus my fabulous meal out, which has got to have been about 150 sins without exaggerating, and I got a £1 gain. I knew before I did it that that's what would happen, and because I knew that, because I accepted that, because that's what I expected, I actually felt really comfortable on scales this morning. I felt that if I had done what the old Jane used to do, I slipped off plan and stayed off plan for 3 days, I'd have probably got a £3 gain. I wouldn't have felt comfortable sitting here today and telling you that. I would have felt well pissed off with myself. But I am comfortable, and I know a lot of people are living this plan like I am. And when you manage it, and some people say, oh, but Jane, you're so controlling and you manage it to the nth degree. No, I don't. I eat the food I love today. I won't be eating the junk I used to eat. Bless her, there's a lovely lady in my group who had a really, not substantial, but reasonably large gain this week. And she's a Target member. And when Naomi said to her, you know, do you know how you've done that? And she went, oh yeah, pork pie. My husband had a pork pie in the fridge and I had a slice or more. And she said, that is my old behaviour. And I had to sit and quietly smile to myself, because that's what I used to bloody live on. Pork pie and chocolate. Literally, pork pie and chocolate. They were my go-to foods. Didn't have to cook them, just unwrap them, cut them up, eat them, or unwrap them and keep popping them in. And I got to 22 stone like that. So I can tell you, you won't catch me eating pork pie, and you won't catch me eating fun-sized chocolate bars, because they come in packs of 20 and I could demolish 2 packs of those without trying. And that's my old behaviour. That's not what got me to where I am today. And this is no criticism of anybody else who still enjoys those foods in moderation. I can't enjoy those foods in moderation. And I honestly don't believe that that desire to overeat on those foods is ever going to go away. So I can't even dip my toe in the water. I'm not going to risk messing about with it. I'd rather stay away, and the longer I stay away, then I have no cravings for them. And the longer I keep my food low sugar, then I have no cravings for chocolate. It's there if I want it and I can eat it. I just don't need it anymore. I used to need it 3, 4, 5 times a day. A question Naomi asked us in group this morning, which I found quite interesting. There are a few people who weren't very happy with their results this week, and that can happen to all of us, can't it? And one of the questions she was asking was about free food. You know, you've got to focus more on the free foods, but not on overeating the free foods. So the question she actually asked to the group, and she wasn't looking for an answer from anybody, but the question was, it says in the book that, you know, eating free foods and everything eventually bring you to a place when you're losing the weight and your weight's coming down, that you eventually get to a place where your appetite comes down with it. So think about this, and I'll say the same to you if you're watching this. Think about this. You don't have to answer it in any way unless you want to. If you've lost a stone, 2 stone, 3 stone, 4 stone, or, you know, like the lovely people we watch on here, 10, 11, 12 stone, there's a lot of people in that place now who are doing amazingly well. Are your portion sizes as big as they were when you started this plan? or have they naturally come down with the weight loss? And Naomi was more or less implying that unless your portion sizes come down with the weight loss, your weight loss will not continue at the same rate of knots. And I could quite see where she was coming from, because my portion sizes have genuinely come down. I cannot eat today the way I used to be able to eat. I could eat anybody under the table when I was 22 stone. You could have put me alongside a 30 stone bloke, I'd have eaten him under the table. I thought I was clever. I can't do that today. I just can't do that today. I don't have the appetite for it. And I can still sit here, hand on heart, and say, I am never hungry. So when I hear people say in group and on social media, I'm always peckish, I'm always hungry, I have to have this, I'm peckish, I'm peckish, I'm peckish. For me, that's a head hunger. And I know the difference today, and I know how I react to it today. If I've got a head hunger, I go and find something to do. I'm very good at clearing out cupboards. If you've got any cupboards that need sorting out, you need me. I can clear out cupboards, I can clean bathrooms, and I'm in my element because I don't think about food. So when I've got a head hunger that's saying, you want to eat, you want to eat, you want to eat, go and do a job, clean a cupboard out, sort your junk drawer out. In fact, we don't really have a junk drawer the way we used to, because we cleared the crap out. Most of it could be thrown. It was just stuff that got shoved in a drawer because you didn't know where else to put it. But we never needed that stuff, so it should have been put in the bin in the first place. Doing those kind of jobs, or literally rolling your sleeves up and bottoming your bathroom, as my mother would say. It's a job. You're not going to have your hands in flash or whatever substance you use to clean your bathroom and be thinking about putting food in your mouth. So for me that works. If it's a head hunger, work through it. If it's a stomach hunger, then I can eat. But because I eat 3 good sized meals a day, not massive, but good sized meals a day, I don't tend to get the stomach hungers. So yeah, that's where I'm at today. Now, I have had a really good week, food-wise, been spot on and really comfortable. Loved every mouthful I've had. But I have struggled with something this week, which it's not, I don't talk about struggling with things very often, because genuinely don't struggle that much. There's an issue on social media, and the bigger social media, so it's more with Instagram and, everything else. But there's a, I don't know what word you'd use for it other than issue. There's a subject matter going around at the moment about body confidence and loving yourself. And I watched a couple of videos this week, which I saw the tag and thought, this is going to interest me. And so I chose to watch them, so I'm responsible for watching them. The people who made them are not responsible for my reaction. They did their part, I'm responsible for my reaction. I actually watched one day and one another day, I think. So it might have been, say, Wednesday and Thursday, or I don't know what days it was, but it was in this week. And I actually played such mind games with myself afterwards that by Thursday night I was sitting in the pub with my best mate discussing having a boob job. And she's sitting across the table from me saying, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, everybody's dissatisfied, they've got loose skin, they've got belly fat, they've got droopy boobs, they've got whatevers. And she goes, who's everybody? And I went, I've been watching social media. And she like, I can feel her like flicking her eyes to the sky as if to say, oh God, here we go again. And she goes, okay, so they need a boob job, so why are you thinking of having one? Well, I should be dissatisfied with my body. I should hate my body. I should hate my flabby bits or my loose skin or my whatever. And she's like, but you don't look like you've got flabby bits and you don't look like you've got loose skin. And I'm thinking, right. And I said, yeah, but if you get your kit off and start showing these things. And she goes, but are you going to get your kit off and start showing these things? Or are you about being the confident woman I know today with your clothes on? And I actually sat back in the chair and I thought, what am I doing to myself? I could have a boob job next week if I wanted one. I could seriously have one next week. But why would I be having one? Because I was allowing myself to feel insecure, and I am not an insecure person anymore. I was an insecure person at 22 stone when I needed to wear a cardigan to cover it up and make me feel like I was thin. I'm not an insecure person at the 12 stone. 12 stone? Where did I get that from? 8 stone 13 I am today. I have confidence in myself. I'm totally blind and I have confidence in myself. I'll go anywhere, I'll speak to anybody, I'll do anything. I'm not expected to, I do talk to to a lot of people these days in different situations. I could stand up in front of an audience of 1,000 and it wouldn't faze me because that's the way I'm wired. But I'm not going to stand up in front of an audience of 5 in my underwear or butt naked because I don't need to. I'm probably an older generation person. I have no body issues. I could strip off in front of any of my girlfriends. You know, we go clothes shopping, I'll quite happily strip down to my underwear. I'll take my bra off to get a new bra fit in with that. I'm not unconfident in myself. Would I say I 100% love every part of my body? No. But then find me somebody who does. I have got some of the most beautiful friends, stunning women that I know, of all age groups, women in their 30s, women in their 40s, who are stunning. If I said to them, are you 100% happy with your body? They might say, no, I wish my feet weren't so big, or not 100% sure of my nose, these sort of things. There isn't one person, I don't think, on this planet who is 100% happy with their body. But what I can say today is I am 100% happier than I was when I weighed 22 stone. And I think with my clothes on, for a woman of my age, I look pretty good today. If I can strut around in size 10 jeans and a small or medium sweater and feel good, and I think a lot of it is down to exactly how you feel. So for me, feeling good is wearing the right clothes today. If I wasn't confident in the type of clothes I wore today, then I would employ a stylist to tell me what I should be wearing. Now, I'm not going to front up in a shirt or blouse because I've never liked those kind of clothes. The one thing I can do at age 61 is I can dress exactly as I want to. I don't have to dress for the office anymore, which was a nightmare. I hated wearing skirts and dress blouses and dressing for the office. I don't have to do that anymore. I have reinvented myself to be, for the first time in my life, the woman wearing the clothes I want to wear and feeling the confidence I want to feel. But I've done that by looking at how I dress and what I buy. So I go shopping today for clothes, and you know I'm getting a bit of a clothes junkie. I love clothes. And I'll be a minimalist in everything except clothes. Now, we were in town this week and we went to Fat Face, which is a shop I like. Wasn't anything I liked in there. Well, there wasn't anything that wasn't too big really, was it? It was all kind of baggy.
It wasn't
Nothing fitted. And I like fitted clothes today because I've got a fitted body. And we went to Jigsaw and they got some nice stuff. But again, oversized. Everything's oversized at the moment. And it's great if you want something that doesn't show your waist and doesn't show the fact that you've got the smallest hips you've ever had. You know? If I buy a size 10 or 12 top that's like this at the bottom, I just feel like a bag of shit, and I don't want that. I want fitted clothes. We went to Next. Again in Next, I wanted some boyfriend jeans. Tried them on, size 10. They look like jodhpurs, didn't they?
Yeah.
You can laugh because he said they did. They looked like
quite ridiculous.
They looked like clown's pants on me, and they were size 10 and they didn't have an 8. I want fitted clothes today. If I've lost all this weight, and even if I have got a little bit loose skin on my stomach, and even if I have got a bit of a bingo wing here, it ain't that much of one. And even if I have got a few wrinkles on my bum, well, I'm not going to strut around in a thong. Well, not in front of you lot. I want fitted clothes. I want to feel confident in the fact that I can wear a size 10 pair of jeans, but I need to put a belt on them because they're too big in the waist. That's okay, I can work with that. I can wear a fitted sweater. This sweater is cashmere and wool and quite fitted. But what we did in town this week was we eventually ended up at TK Maxx, which is where a lot of my friends go, and they're very discerning. They only buy things that they really like, and they only buy things that are quality. So we went into TK Maxx this week. Now, Joe doesn't know a label. He wouldn't know a Florence and Fred from a what? Chanel.
Abercrombie and Fitch.
Oh?
Abercrombie and Fitch.
Abercrombie and Fitch. He wouldn't. Joe just looks at clothing, and he's not my style guide because he just picks things out from the rails that he thinks I would like if I was just scanning the rails.
I just want to get out there as quick as possible.
Yeah, so he does it at speed. Believe me, you've got to keep up with him. So we're like looking at all these clothes, and he's like, okay, there's 2 sweaters here that are you. All right, look. First one, French Connection. Yeah, I'll try that. So I try it on, fits perfectly. 75 quid down to 24.99, that'll do me. And it's called Nocturnal, isn't it? It's like a midnight navy. But it's a really simple fitted jumper, which is what I favour today. Second one, he picked out the jumper I've got on here, which was a Jaeger, or Jaeger. And I'm like, yeah, I like Jaeger. When my mum was younger, she always wore Jaeger. £165 down to £49.99. Now, okay, that's £75 for two jumpers. And some of you might say, I can't afford to do that. I've got kids, I've got responsibilities, whatever. But my thing for me today is I would rather have to save up. I didn't have to save up as the case was. I had the money in my bank. But I would rather save up and buy one quality piece of clothing today than go into somewhere like, I don't know, Primark or somewhere and buy stuff that is oversized and doesn't wash well and doesn't make me feel. Now, if you do that and you find some good stuff in Primark, that's your business. Our Primark's probably not that good because I don't find that in ours. In fact, I've been in once and I don't think I'd go in again. I'm not putting Primark down. I'm just saying for my time of life at the age of 61, I don't need to buy my clothes in Primark. I want to buy quality pieces that I can wear again next winter. Quality fitted pieces that show off the body I've managed to achieve. There's a lot of fashion around at the moment that is really oversized and it's got all this, I don't know what you call the sleeves on them, are they fishtails or something? Well, believe me, if I put something on like that, I look like Bessie Braddock. Bessie Braddock was a really big Lancashire woman, apparently. So my granddad used to tell me when I was a child. Because those floaty outward sleeves, they just make me look ridiculous. Now, some people they probably suit. But what I'm trying to do today is recreate myself in a way where I can be confident in my body. When I can, well, if blind people can strut into a room, but you know what I mean. I can confidently walk into a room. I can confidently walk into the pub with my friends. I can confidently stand up in front of a big group of people, a women's group or something, and speak about what I am confident about. And feel like I'm telling the story and then I'm evidence of the result. Because I couldn't have stood up in front of you at 22 stone and looked anything other than like a bag of the proverbial. Because I didn't have any shape. I was just a blob. I was a shapeless mess at 22 stone. I had the biggest belly, the biggest bum, a shelf above my bum, a 42, 44 chest, 14 chins, and I don't think today my neck's doing bad at all for a woman who's lost 13 stone plus. I am confident in who I am today. And I, for one, found it really difficult watching these videos. Now, I can't see them, I only can hear the audio where people are saying, I hate my wrinkly this, I hate my bingo that. I don't hate any part of my body today. The body I've got today is the body I deserve to have because it's the body I've created. Yes, I was a balloon and I pumped myself up umpteen times and then deflated myself. And then I pumped myself up by another 6 stone and then I deflated myself by 5 and pumped myself up by 7. If you do that to a balloon, even a good quality balloon, you keep blowing it up and letting it down, it'll wrinkle. But I'm not going to beat myself up over it today. I am 100% happy in the person I am today, and that includes my body. I am not going to make myself feel as crap as I felt for 3 days this week because somebody else thinks it's a really good campaign to educate girls and say, go on, lose all the weight, this is what you could end up with. Because if they'd told me that when I was 22 stone, I'd have kept eating. If I'd have known when I was 22 stone that I was going to end up looking like a big deflated balloon, I don't think I'd have ever had the courage to go on a weight loss plan. I haven't ended up looking like a deflated balloon. I've got a few wrinkles. I'll tell you something though, I haven't got one stretch mark, but that's down to what type of skin you've got. I've got a few wrinkles on my tummy and I've got a few wrinkles probably on my bum. I think my face has come out of it pretty well for a woman of my age. I've got a bit of a bingo wing, but not a lot. So don't let anybody show you what they've got and then you measure yourself against it. You are unique. You're individual. And there are some people out there who can lose weight and come out of it looking bloody good because they don't end up with stretch marks. And if you've got a bit of loose skin, so tuck it in your knickers. But I don't think we should be showing it on the World Wide Web. I think that's for your partner. Because, I mean, I have got a husband. You might not live at the same property, but I have got a husband. My husband can see that, but I don't want my husband's mates seeing it, thank you very much. Anyway, that's only my opinion. Love yourself for who you are, what you are, and every aspect of yourself. Don't judge yourself by your body shape, because I don't think any of us will ever find perfection in that. But yeah, I've had a really good week. I am not going to have a boob job, well, not next week. Never say never. But no, 38 quid for a decent bra is a hell of a lot better than 6 grand for a boob job, isn't it? In anybody's purse. So, going to go. I'm going to carry on this week. I'm going to have 4 or maybe 4.5 X choices. I'll think about that. I haven't really quantified it yet. I'm going to have 15 sims every day. And I'm going to go back to group next week and I'm going to get the result I deserve. Okay. Hope you all have a good week too. And remember, works if you work it, won't if you don't. Cheers.